Okay. What's your name and number?
Jim Fussell, F-U-S. This call is originating from Ohio Correctional Facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Okay. What is it?
Jim Fussell, F-U-S-S-E-L-L.
Okay. Where are you located at?
Marion Correctional Institution.
Okay. And put down your contact information at the end. Okay. What would you like to share with the people? Parole experiences or anything you would like to share? You got a few minutes.
I'm going to cover prison reform, parole reform, and parole board reform.
Great.
And perhaps even sentence reform.
Great. Share a little bit about your experience with the parole board.
Okay. Well, you just want to start and do my whole thing?
Just kind of, wherever you want to start.
Okay. I'm going to start. It's going to take a while.
Okay.
All right. Hello. The hot topics these days seem to focus on sentence reform, parole reform, prison reform, and parole board reform. Many have taken a stand on one or more of these issues. I have been heavily involved in all because they affect me. My name is Jim Fussell, prisoner number A154973. I am housed at Marion Correctional Institution in Marion, Ohio. I caught my case in 1978. I've spent 41 years behind bars. I am a first-time offender. I have no juvenile record. I was convicted by a jury of 2 counts of aggravated murder in the deaths of a 53-year-old victim and a 21-year-old victim, the wife and daughter of former Monroe County prosecutor George Burkhardt. He was in private practice at the time. He later went on to become a judge before his death of natural causes. Each victim was shot 3 times in the heart and once in the head, what prosecutors describe as execution style. The murders were senseless, unnecessary, and a horrific act. The trial portrayed a variety of theories and speculation. Lies were told, including my own. But the bottom line is that neither murder should have occurred. I deeply regret my actions that day. Nothing I ever do can change the past or bring back the dead. The daughter had a 9-month-old child. That baby grew up without her mother or her grandmother. Not a day goes by that I don't think of that as well. The devastation caused by me in a quiet, rural county with a population of 15,000 has forever left a mark. It is virtually impossible to imagine the sharp contrast of crimes committed in a small town versus crimes committed in a large city. In the rural area, folks know one another. The community consider themselves friends and family. People leave their doors unlocked and trust everyone, or at least they did. In large cities, the act of violence is basically the number you hear on the news. The only people affected are the family and close friends. To most everyone else, it is just a statistic and forgotten by the next news cycle. Violence is expected. The sound of gunfire is normal. Deadbolting your doors and windows is normal. In the rural area, you walk into any store, you walk up to the counter to pay for your purchase. There are no barriers, no plexiglass, no cages, or bulletproof glass. You actually can hug the cashier if he or she will welcome it. In cities, that is not the case. As a society, there is a huge contrast in how people live, what their surroundings are. Basically, what is normal, what is acceptable, and what is expected. The same goes for the huge contrast in cultures. None are the same. When you ask about reform, the answers depend on whether you are happy folks from a city or folks from a rural area. In a recent experiment in Monroe County, Ohio, we found that residents basically did not believe in or support reform. One writer said, "Don't they all claim to be reformed?" You can go to Facebook or log on to Monroe County Memories. They focus a lot on my case. In 1978, when I got arrested, there were no DNA or other forensic avenues to explore. They did not even take residue samples. The police worker. This call is originating from an Ohio Correctional Facility and may be recorded and monitored. The police work conducted in my case was definitely not up to par with any big city police work. So, decades later, there are not even evidence facts to examine what or dispute anything. In 1978, Ohio did not have a capital crime. There were no death sentences. This remains true through 1979. After that, the death penalty was back on the books. I was sentenced to 20 to life under the law that was in effect at that time, meaning I was eligible for parole consideration after serving 20 full years. At the conclusion of that 20 years, I saw the parole board and I received a 10-year continuance. I had been a heavy drug and alcohol user for many years. Again, my own choice. Those activities altered my thought process. I was going downhill fast and losing all sight of the person I once was. I had been raised by remarkable adoptive parents who taught me how to be a decent human being. But at 18, when I moved out into the world on my own, I allowed drugs and alcohol to become more important than anything or anyone else in my life. A choice I will always regret deeply. Knowing for many decades now that I cannot fix the past, I long ago decided to do what I can to make a difference in the lives of others. In 1990, I quit cold turkey. My self-indulgent activity of drugs and alcohol were no longer going to be a part of my life. I have been able to stick with that decision for all of these past 29 years. I diverted that energy to give it back to society. My creation of Domino Deeds was a true blessing. A Facebook site was later created in its name, and to date I have hand-painted over 8,578 paintings. These have gone towards causes that bring assistance to various needs for charity, as well as individuals in despair. I invite you to check out Facebook Domino Deeds and carefully read all of the entries. While my art will not bring high estimates at the Antique Roadshow due to the high volume I have distributed, the art has gone global. It has reached war-torn Afghanistan, Germany, Pakistan, England, Italy, even the Pope received 2 paintings. The White House and the Pentagon have received paintings in just about every state in the United States. Many other countries, basically too many to mention. Let's just say it is out there. While Domino Deeds keeps me busy painting, I still spend countless hours and energy contacting senators, state representatives, agencies, news media reporters, in hopes of finding that one person who will dig deep for answers, open the right door, be that one key to making the pieces all fit together. I have met or been in contact with many remarkable reporters: Ann Fisher, Laura Bischoff, Karen Gansler, Jeremy Pelzer, to name a few. Over the decades, the Ohio Parole Board, as well as the ODRC director and the governor, have all changed many, many times. Laws have changed a lot to the point where Ohio now has 3, if not 4, sentence structures. I have been identified as home law. I have been labeled years ago by ODRC spokesperson as one of the worst of the worst. When I hear those labels, I wonder if in the Shawshank Redemption movie, if Red would have been labeled one of the worst too. But movies rarely portray what goes on in real life. This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored. Mike McCurman is the author of Orange is the New Black, a wonderful person, a great advocate, and head talker. I have spoke with her a few times and found her to be totally genuine and refreshing. The series Orange is the New Black actually portrays a lot of actual things that take place behind bars. Some would have probably labeled Piper as one of the worst of the worst. When the public meet me at events such as TEDx and they hear about all of the different charities and causes I engage in for society, they scratch their heads, unable to grasp how the label worst of the worst can be used on someone like me. To get an idea of what I'm talking about, you be the judge and please go to YouTube and click on Jim Fussell Marion. Once you watch all 18 minutes and 22 seconds, please scroll down and read the comments made by some people. Please note, there are comments from a person calling themselves Truth, T-R-U-T-H. After investigation, my team found the identity of Truth to be none other than the former prosecutor Richard Jaws of Monroe County. He prosecuted my case in 1978 and is in private practice now. 40 years after the fact, he still has something to say. I do not let negative comments derail me or hinder my efforts. If anything, they serve as fuel for me to do more, to fight harder, to reach out further. Unfortunately, most men and women got me behind bars. They are afraid to speak out. They are afraid of the parole board. Some unable to communicate with strangers or put their thoughts or feelings onto paper, or to find words to describe just what affects their life and the lives of their family. I am fortunate that I know what is happening. I am not afraid of anything. My experiences with the Ohio Parole Board are pretty much described in my second YouTube posting. Click on to Jim Fussell - my parole board journey. This one is 22 minutes long, and again, the comments section is interesting. Mr. Yoss, know his truth, felt the need to post something there also, so I sent him a reply. Since this video, I've seen the parole board in September 2018. Prior to then, I took a year and a half off to prepare for the parole board hearing. I sent each member a 36-page package, so each member would be on the same page, have identical information, as well as letters of support, housing offers, job offers, etc. I even focused on how to save parole plans so that Ohio would never have to see me again. I definitely have no interest in returning to my home county where the crime occurred. So many men and women make the mistake of returning to where they were convicted. That is a recipe for disaster. It rarely turns out good. During my parole hearing, I saw 5 people on the screen. The lead speaker was cordial. During the hour-long hearing, she made 3 separate references to my Domino Needs community outreach efforts. One lady ate a salad during my interview and began to choke loudly. Had to get her running from the room. The lead speaker just moved forward with the interview. All members questioned certain aspects of the crime, pretty much every prosecution of the case, only this time I had no lawyer present to represent me. I had always thought that once a person reaches parole eligibility, it goes before the board. The board then determines suitability based on what the prisoner has accomplished during those years leading up to his or her parole consideration. One would think, okay, we know details of the crime, a conviction was made, the sentence has been served to satisfy the law of the state. Now our job is... This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored. Now our job is to make sure confinement has been served and rehabilitative steps have been met. The prisoner has attempted to address his or her weaknesses or internal trouble spots such as drug, alcohol, anger, jealousy, or other issues have been successfully dealt with. Some suffer mental health issues and hopefully seek meaningful help. One would think that the board is looking at the person before them today. Everyone in society knows, and I think agrees, that not a single person on earth is the same today that they were 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. If anyone thinks otherwise, I would love to have a conversation with you. Unfortunately, the parole board until recently did not contain any members with law degrees or other expert training. Much praise should be shown to the new ODRC director, Ms. Chambers Smith. While the former parole board members often get ridiculed and blamed for faulty measures, at the end of the day, one must remember each of them are human with weaknesses and other potential problems, such as former parole board member Michael Jackson. I remember 2013, he sat on the board when I saw them, and he ranted at me how I had 3 meals a day, a roof over my head, and clothes to wear. He was responding to the then spokesperson of the board who asked if I ever considered donating paintings to the Crime Victims Association or the Prosecutors Association. I replied that I was not aware that either were charities. Mr. Jackson may have been under the influence to influence during my hearing. He judged me that day, yet he was arrested and convicted of drunk driving. Again, a human. Yet we never know what skeletons are in the closet of others. While the victims should have a say at sentencing, I believe they should have a say at a prisoner's first parole hearing, but I feel strongly that is where the line is drawn. In Ohio, a prisoner can get up to a 10-year continuous after a parole consideration hearing. That is equal to a whole new sentence, in my opinion, a revenge sentence. I believe that at any parole hearing after the first one, no victim impact statements or interviews or petition should be permitted or considered. Far too many times victims come out of the woodwork who were not even born at the time of the crime or not even a relative of the victim. Often petitions are fraudulent and no one has the ability or interest in checking out for violent signatures. Mr. Walters, the NCI parole hearing officer, told me that there comes a point where community objections have led to less weight. In my situation, the board wrote that their findings that there was strong support for my release. However, there was equally strong opposition to my release. In September 2018, the parole board gave me yet another 5-year continuance. 3 months before parole board member Shirley Smith resigned and released her 4-page op-ed whistleblower bombshell, revealing many of the underhanded activities she witnessed. No one at any level argued with her. Any other time, her allegations would have been met with blatant denials and attempts to make her out as a bad apple. Prisoners around Ohio really owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Shirley Smith. She single-handedly brought down the beast and got the attention of her former legislative allies. Miss Shirley Smith was a senator before spending the past 3 years of her life on the Ohio Pro Board. One of her refreshing feeling it is to finally see a person walk away, a person with dignity, compassion, and conscience. This lady gave up a very high-paid job with no job to fall back on. She led with her heart. Director Chambers Smith initiated a shakeup, and Governor DeWine seems to be backing her, but is it enough? Can you teach old dogs new tricks? The existing Pro Board members are quoted as saying they feel they have done nothing wrong. To me, that is alarming. I wonder if it alarms you as well. Experts around the world have researched scientific proven methods in deciding who is suitable for parole relief. Yet Ohio is the only state that has not utilized the expert findings. If Ohio were to adopt some of or all of the proven methods, I wonder if our present board, minus the newly appointed members in January, will they barely be able to throw their old methods out the window and focus on the new methods? That would be challenging for any of us to learn new things when we are accustomed to old ways. Think about it. Human lives are at stake. It should matter. I personally believe that a whole new board should have been hired and reassigned our present board members to other tasks in the department so that they maintain their salary. I do not believe people should be fired when they thought they were doing an adequate job with limited tools or expertise. They tried. Somehow in their mind and hearts, they tell themselves that they did the best they could. Miss Shirley Smith knew better. She pulled over when she saw the engine light on. I cannot question her judgment because it seems, by all accounts, that she did what was necessary. In my view, all board members should have admitted error. I would be more accepting. But at the end of the day, I am merely a prisoner, not a stakeholder. My voice.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I would love for Governor DeWine to oppose the moratorium and stop all Ohio parole hearings. Once Ms. Shirley Smith's office service and details emerged and the new ODRC director came on the scene, swift action was taken, and again, those in society owe gratitude, respect, and thanks to both Governor DeWine and Director Chambers Smith. Still, a moratorium until everything in this department would have been fair. As it is, parole hearings continue, and even though a much higher number of prisoners are walking around with 60 days and an out date in their hands, none of them are out the door yet. The rug can be pulled out from under them at any time, and parole revoked. New methods are taking place to some degree, but it brings a new question. What about people like me who saw the board 3 months before Governor Shirley Smith did her whistleblower thing? I suffered the board's behaviors. They even reportedly falsely believed that I was the chief sales who filed and won a major lawsuit against ODRC several years ago. Even some administrators at Marion thought I was a lawsuit guy. I did not find out about this until after my September 28th parole hearing from a person who once was tied to the parole board. I'm not that person. He is actually deceased. So people like me who have seen the board, actually anyone in the past 10 years, all of us were potential victims of ghost votes, improper behavior, faulty information, re-prosecution, re-sentencing, unprofessional, unethical behavior. The hearings were secret, no recordings, no transparency, no way to scrutinize. All of us, by right, need to be reviewed as soon as possible. Once all of the new procedures are in place, neglecting to do so would wreak of discrimination and perhaps civil rights violations. Many have filed documents requesting rehearings. The Office of Quality Assurance sends out form letters denying our request and threatening us in the last paragraphs of the form. I sent my form to Senator Cecil Thomas and a copy to Director Chambers Smith, but as recent as this past week, the same form is being used. Nothing has been changed, and denial of rehearing means we must wait to our next scheduled parole hearing. If a moratorium were imposed, volunteer navigators could actually be trained and installed and start making contact with men and women who are nearing a parole hearing date. In recent weeks, several people have been issued the 60-day and out date status for release. However, in that mix, we are noticing an alarming number of potential Brian Goolsby's, people who have gang activity, establishing relationships with staff, drug and other violations. It makes many wonder if the parole board is deliberately planning to release some people who they are most certain will reoffend and perhaps kill.
Okay.
It makes the prison population seriously question how a guy like me, 41, served, no prison violations in over 35 years, no prior numbers, community service and community outreach so colossal that it is unmatched by any known Ohio prisoner. Ample programming. How someone with 9 seasons and work history can repeatedly get continuous, yet people who have broken nearly every rule in the book and get nothing but admit as a troublemaker. Those people get a parole. It boggles a person's mind, as there is no logical reason except they are being sent on a mission of destruction. I pray that I am wrong, and they all do well and become productive citizens. After all, zebras lose their stripes, don't they? I will not offer names, that is not my intent to burn bread on anyone. I sincerely hope they just do not rape, rob, or take a life. OTRC has begun a process where staff can submit statements or interviews with parole board members prior to a prisoner being seen for parole consideration. This could be good, this could be bad. There are some staff who have what we call staff-mates, prisoners with sort of Stockholm syndrome, and they are joined at the hip. Even Embark is guilty of this. It is a religious-based program that could have excellent potential if deleted would not depend on select Embark prisoners who have been with the program for years, and the Embark leaders rely on the prisoners' suggestions of whom the prisoner thinks should be allowed into the program. I know this firsthand from my experience with the process in 2017. Let me be clear. There are a few Embark graduates who are about the right thing and are genuine. Some even got parole and are doing very good on the outside in society.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
The Embark leaders seem unaware or turn a blind eye to the select core and see everyone else sees right through the fakeness. I guess all programs have issues, only this program deals with freedom, and no prisoner should be in a position to have any say in what gets into a program. If they were about the right thing, these prisoners would decline comment or involvement in any recommendation or questions from the Embark leaders. The playing field should be open to all who qualify. Programming in prison should never be conducted or led by a prisoner, especially reintegration programming. No prisoner is ever supposed to be permitted, according to OTRC regulations, to be over any other prisoner, yet we see this happening all the time. What is a fellow prisoner going to teach people they are wearing the same state uniform and prisoner ID that I have with the word inmate stamped across it? Over the years, many bills have come and gone. Laws change, and yet when we read these proposed bills, they often lack one word that affects everyone behind bars at this moment. That word is retroactive. It does no good to create yet another new law dealing with prison unless it contains the retroactive term. FTRR has a solid proposed bill awaiting the bill number. It covers a lot of necessary territory, and I hope it will gain support. Michigan has a 3-year-old presumptive parole bill that has had remarkable results. Several senators were reviewing it and writing their own version. Again, it needs to contain the word retroactive. People often think that all of the parole board issues are centered around old law. Many are unaware that the parole board concerns deal with virtually any Ohio prisoner who must see the parole board at any time during their incarceration. This includes what some refer to as new law. When the term old law is repeatedly used, we lose support from those associated with prisoners who were sentenced under a newer law. In reality, those of us in the old law category, we are old. I was 21 when I got arrested. Now I'm 62. Our loved ones have passed away. Our friends have taken different paths. We have no one on the outside to fight our battles. We rely on those who come into prison behind us, those who still have loved ones, those who are more computer savvy, able to tap into social media to get things done. New law prisoners are very vital to our ability to get changes made. Additionally, we seldom hear about female prisoners. That is 100% wrong. We need to include them in these fights. They are suffering the same thing as the male prisoners, and in some cases even more so. Some of these ladies are young mothers, and that in itself creates.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I had the privilege of interacting with some female patients a few years ago while sharing art therapy, and they were really fun to be around. More attention needs to be shown to women in Marysville and other facilities around the state that house female prisoners. It is my hope that in the coming weeks and months, Phase 2 will enable more and more prisoners who have served their minimum and are one-time offenders and maintain a clean institution record, that those individuals will be reevaluated repeat offenders, people who did not learn their lesson the first time. In my opinion, there is no valid reason to violate your parole or to return to prison, especially for committing another crime. Many would disagree with me on this issue. They are welcome to write their own law and defend themselves. Some of us would make great neighbors, be assets to the community, and valuable in the workforce. Please do your part, let your voice be heard, and remember, we come in peace. Sincerely, Jim Fussell, 8154973, Post Office Box 57, Marion, Ohio, 43301. You can open a JPay account simply by going to jpay.com. Reminder, they will charge you 20 cents per email message. Have a good day.
Jim, how do you spell your last name?
F as in Frank, Q-S-S-E-L-L.
Great. I just want to make sure everybody had your exact name, how to spell it, so they could contact you if they would like to. Okay, Jim?
Was that too long?
That was great. That was great. I do not know how you did it on an inmate's phone. I don't know how you did it that long with, usually the 15 minutes. So, yeah. Well, I want to have you sometime on our Voices of Reform on Sunday night at 6 o'clock. So we'll work on that some Sunday night, okay?
You're breaking up real bad. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's not working.
Okay, some Sunday night we'll have you on the Voices of Reform again.
Okay.
Okay, brother? Okay.
When will this go on YouTube?
Right now. I'll be sharing it. Huh?
You have 1 minute remaining.
Have them look up. They had them look up. Okay. Okay.
Thank you for using
Okay, that's Jim Fussell, everyone.